Okay, so today I want to talk about fitting in and why you shouldn't try to do it. Us humans, we're social creatures. If we spend too much time alone, we get sad and lonely. Everybody knows this. If this sad and lonely state lasts too long, we get desperate for social interaction. And when we're desperate long enough, we just seek out the nearest other person we're able to talk to. It doesn't matter who they are. So you see, sometimes, no matter how many people or groups you try to interact with, you just can't seem to fit in. You might start to think, well, is there something wrong with me? You might wonder, is it my hair, my teeth? Was it something I said? Was it the way I said it? You might sit there and dwell on it and think about it over and over until it drives you crazy and makes you depressed. Well, when you finally hit that state of depression, you might think you need to change something about yourself. Well, sometimes this is true. For example, and this is purely an example, if you were to insult everyone you see, well, that's not going to work, is it? If you insult everyone you see, no one's going to like you. Well, you can change like that behavior, but that is not the point of the video. The video is about why you shouldn't try to fit into those groups that are excluding you. First, I'm going to say a few things about initial meetings between people, and then I'll get to the point. You see, most humans do this thing. It's called judgment. When you meet someone for the first time, they're sizing you up. They're gauging your reactions. They're even subconsciously checking if you're dominant or not, and if you're a compatible mate. In fact, we tend to do these things so quickly that it only takes about 30 seconds to decide if we like you or not. Sometimes no conversation even occurs, and people already have a bad opinion of you based on your appearance and how you carry yourself. But that's something that'll probably never change, and it is a type of behavior that I disagree with. I really do think you should give everyone a decent chance to present themselves, but that's not how this world works, and that's just how we're wired. But alright, it's time to get to the point. So, you've faced rejection, you've faced judgment, you've had negative interactions with other people. Everyone does. But if you're so desperate to get accepted by a social group or a person that you don't seem to fit with, you shouldn't change who you are to fit in. That's right. As long as you are happy with who you are, and you like your personality, and you don't do things that harm other people, you don't need to change. That's right. You don't need to change. You might be saying, well, obviously I need to change. I don't fit in. Well, you might be right. Maybe you don't fit in. Well, let me tell you this. If you don't fit in, it's because you're not meant to. You don't shove a square into a triangle hole because it doesn't fit. You could shave the square down into a triangle the size of the hole, but if you do that, then it's no longer complete. Pieces of the square are now missing. It is no longer whole, no longer what it was. Let's imagine you are that square. Would you really want to cut parts off of you that make you complete just so you can fit into one space? Why would you? You don't need to do that. You just need to find a space that you fit into. You might be unhappy now, but let me tell you from personal experience. I'll try and keep it short, but please pay attention, because the lesson is at the end. So, my personality and way of thinking is different from many people I meet. I too find it hard to fit into society. I used to hide who I was inside. I would avoid talking about things I'm passionate about, because most other people I met didn't share those passions with me. I mean, I really hid a lot of my personality. I probably hid 80% of who I am, and what I thought, and how I felt, and I would never share it with anyone. It's like I was constantly in hiding. I did this for years, and eventually it made me very depressed. I began to think of how I could fit in, how I could change to achieve that goal. I altered the way I expressed myself to other people, and I changed what I would talk about. When I changed my personality to fit in, I didn't enjoy it. I even started to behave differently when I was alone. I'd like to learn and study before this, so I could share wisdom and knowledge with others. But when I changed to fit in, I stopped doing these things. In the end, I had more friends. I'll put that in quotes. I'm not friends with those people anymore. Our friendships were based, in part, on a fake personality, one persona, crafted just to fit into the groups. But no matter how many friends I had or what changes I made, I was still unhappy. But you see, that is where the lesson lies. I was still unhappy. In fact, I was even more unhappy than before, even with my new friends. But I realized from this experience that changing yourself and hiding who you really are doesn't make you happy. Fitting in doesn't necessarily make you happy. But I finally came out of my shell that I constructed, and I removed the restraints that I had placed on my consciousness, my thoughts, and my personality. I became who I truly am inside, and I stopped hiding it. In fact, when I stopped trying to fit in, my depression went away, and it's been gone for years. Ever since then, I've been happy. I still don't have a lot of friends or a giant social media following like everyone seems to want, but I am happy. Even though, I'm not rich. But anyway, I may not have a large number of friends, but the ones I do have are true. Weeks, months, or even years can go by before we talk to each other and we can just pick up right where we left off. You see, that's because these friends were true friends from the start. I revealed my true self to them, and their personalities were compatible. That's why we fit in together to this day. So you see, you shouldn't try to fit in. You shouldn't change who you are just to please others. Just be yourself, and you will someday find people that are just like you. You will find the space you were meant to fit into all along. This may not be the master key of ultimate happiness, but it certainly is one of the keys that will unlock one of the many doors. Well, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see my new videos as they come out. And until next time, stay positive.